Welcome everybody to our marketing minicast. Is Facebook advertising still viable after the iOS 14.5 release? There's a lot of talk about this, and that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm Lynn Grigorski from Rapunzel Creative Marketing, and I am joined by the fabulous
I'm Ann Popolizio from Social Squib.
Great to see you, Anne. Thanks for joining us today for this chat. So iOS 14.5, I mean, I am a social media podcast junkie. I admit that. That's usually what I'm listening to when I'm brushing my teeth in the morning. But there's been a lot of talk about this release and how this is going to affect or is affecting Facebook advertising. So so happy to have you on so that we can go right to the source to find out what your thoughts are on Facebook ads under this change. So tell us what you're seeing.
Yeah, so for the most part, if the client was able to get everything set up, then things are functioning pretty normally. We did see costs go up after the enforcement went into effect. The other thing that we're seeing, we keep getting notifications that like custom audience sizes may be reduced. And so there's consequences from that people might not be fully aware of. If you didn't get it set up, that's when things got wonky, or if you were using a tool that didn't roll out a solution for it or a way to verify the domain, if it's using its own subdomains or something like that, if it didn't roll out a solution for that, then we're having issues running conversion ads in those situations. So we're doing the best we can, or we just have some very funky data. But yeah, I mean, in terms of you were able to get it set up, there still are some consequences. One of the issues was that if somebody has opted out of tracking, and so if they've done that, those are the scenarios where people might not be ending up in the custom audience, or and that's really going to be impacting like website-based audiences. The on Facebook based audiences are less impacted. But if, for example, like you've got an exclusion set up based on purchase behavior and someone has opted out of tracking, the purchase event might not make it back to Facebook. And so that person might not, if you've excluded based on, someone who's visited this purchase confirmation website, then that person isn't going to be getting excluded from the ads. Or if you're trying to base a custom audience off of people that have visited your site in general so that you can retarget in general, or, and more importantly, build lookalike audiences off of that, then you may be losing some accuracy in terms of being able to retarget someone, or to be the accuracy of your your lookalike audience, because your custom audience might be a little bit smaller.
Yeah, boy, yeah. So I know a lot of us depend on those custom audiences in our advertising and marketing strategies. Is there anything that people can do to kind of, I don't want to say circumvent that, but to make up for that lost?
I think it's a really important reminder about why you can never 100% rely on any social media platform. You really do, your social media, your number one objective is to grow an email list at the end of the day. Once they're on your email list, you can contact them, you own that list. Yeah, it's not 100%, it's not perfect delivery. Things could end up in spam, blah, blah, blah. People don't open the email, blah, blah, blah. But you still retain the ability to reach out to them and to connect to them.
Right.
So that's the probably the biggest reminder that has always been true, but every once in a while there's a big reminder about why, and there's another reminder of why.
And this is it, or maybe this is a time to add some more offers on your website, some downloadable materials that are gated so that people are going to, offer up that information.
Yep. And you want to also make sure that you have a diversified marketing portfolio. Don't put all your eggs into one basket. It is true for the stock market. It is true for marketing. If you are 100% reliant on a single platform, or if you're just relying on Facebook ads, if your entire business and marketing model is based off of one outlet, you are setting yourself up for disaster. So have diversified organic marketing, have the platforms built up, have 2 or 3 that you're maintaining a strong presence on, and email marketing, and be creating content so that people want to keep coming back to your site. But email marketing. Most
I did want to ask you, have you heard that marketers are pulling away from Facebook at all as a result of the release?
Not so much as a result of the release. Where we saw the big drop off was last year during the pandemic. If anything, it's getting more competitive now, because as the world is reopening, people are starting to advertise again. And yes, there were a lot of businesses that shut down, but a lot of those businesses weren't, the ones, a huge percentage of the ones that did close permanently probably weren't doing Facebook advertising anyway. But places like theme parks, survived and are now in full force, and their advertising budgets have gone back up to 100%. So Facebook advertising is a bid system, so it is more competitive now, and then based, because of the iOS 14.5 changes and the enforcement of those changes. Some of your retargeting is losing accuracy. So just in general, things are getting a little bit more competitive. But no, we're not seeing people pull away. If we're seeing it ramp back up.
Okay. So the advice is, don't rely solely on Facebook and Instagram, especially if that's what you were doing before. You want to add some other marketing tools to your marketing portfolio. Also, to keep in mind that your custom audiences may not be as effective as they are. Your exclusions may not be as effective as they are. And make sure that you're capturing people on your website and getting those emails, because you may not be able to reach those people that you had before through Facebook if they opted out and said, we want to stay private. We don't want anybody tracking or following us.
Yeah. And the other piece of it is that for the exclusion. So I was setting a campaign up today, and I was excluding based off of purchase, but then I also off of the website purchase event, but I also excluded based off of the email list, of the customer email list. So you do still have that 2-pronged approach available to you first for exclusions. But again, you have to have their email address in order to be able to exclude them.
Oh my God, we go back to, after all the digital advances, right, in marketing, we're still back to email as the one true thing that can reach people. Yeah, it's amazing. It really is, after all this time. So thank you so much, Anne, again, for jumping on this marketing mini cast with me.
You're welcome.
And if anybody wants to get in touch with us at Rapunzel Creative, you can schedule an appointment with me at rapunzelcreative.com through our contact tab. And Anne, is there a way that people can get in touch with you?
Yeah, just go over to socialsquib, SQUIB as in boy.com, and you can reach me there.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks again, Anne.
You are welcome. Thank you for having me.